Hello everyone, welcome to today's daily news analysis. I'm Akhil Rajratnam. So today, January 23rd is a very special day. The nation celebrates the birth anniversary of a fearless leader, that is Subhash Chandra Bose. So these are his powerful words. Victory or defeat is not important, but the fight itself is everything. Victory or defeat, that will be the outcome. Mostly, we have no role in this outcome, whether we are getting victory or whether we are getting defeated. But still, what is there in our hands is our strength, our courage, the path we are actually choosing. So that is in our hands only. So let's choose our path wisely. With that note, let's move on to today's topics. So these are the topics for today. These are the 6 topics which I've taken from both Hindu as well as Indian Express. So first one is Center announces the hike in MSP for Jute by 359 quintals. Okay, so here we'll be discussing regarding what is this concept of MSP, what are the challenges we are facing in MSP, what are the committee recommendations regarding MSP. All these things we'll be discussing in this first topic. Second one is regarding National Health Commission. So according to some recent report, National Health Commission has been a very successful. Based on the recent assessment, they have actually extended the National Health Commission for next 5 years also. So we will be discussing what is actually the statistics regarding this. Third one is regarding China's moves must recast India's critical mineral push. So here we will be discussing what is this critical mineral ecosystem, what are the critical minerals in India, what is actually the role in the global ecosystem. All these things we will be discussing in the third topic. Fourth one is related to maritime sector investment, but still again a very important concept is coming here, that is a Hong Kong Convention. So we'll be discussing what is this Hong Kong Convention, what is India's stand on this Hong Kong Convention and all. And finally we have two snippets are also there. Mostly the two important terms are coming. One is Crosspathy, it is a medical term, Crosspathy, and another one is Sachetisation, which was announced by SEBI. Okay, so these are the 6 topics for today's discussion. So let me introduce you to two of our courses which we are launching. So first one is the 1 year prelims comes mains integrated course. So this will be for students who are writing the 2026 examination, and another one is a 2 year prelims come mains integrated course that will be for students who are aiming the 2027 examination. Okay, right. So these are our specialties. Will be having 800 plus hours of general studies and CSAT online class, completely online classes will be there, and in that 200 plus hours of current affairs classes will also be there. We'll be giving you the micro schedule so that your preparation will become easy, and we'll have expert faculty for all the subjects, and obviously without testing any course is not valued. So we'll be having regular tests both for mains as well as prelims point. Okay, all right, so let's move on to the first topic. So this is regarding the MSP. So the topic is Center has fixed the minimum support price of raw jute of 2025-2026. So this is 5,650 a quintal. So this is actually an increase of 350 over the past price, that is 2024-2025. Okay, we'll see a previous year question in this regard. So this will be coming under GS paper 3. GS paper 3 economy. Okay, all right, GS paper 3 economy. All right, let's see a previous year question in this regard. What do you mean by minimum support price? How will MSP rescue the farmers from the low income trap? Very direct question. So what is MSP, or minimum support price? Okay, basically MSP is a price set by the government, to certain agricultural products. So this is actually the price at which the products would be directly be brought from the farmers. Okay, so that they are not forced to sell this. For example, if a product is for example, if you take wheat, price of wheat is 10 rupee. Price of wheat is 10 rupee. Due to market condition, it is going down to 2 rupees. If it's going down to 2 rupees, so the farmer will be forced to sell this wheat at 2 rupees. So what the government will be doing? The government will be interfering here. So government can either make it around 9 rupees so that the loss of the farmer will be very less. So this is the government intervention, so that the prices will be, so that it will actually help the farmers, and farmers don't have to go with the distress sell. Okay, so basically the goal of MSP is to provide a safety net. It is to provide a safety net for the farmers. Safety net for the, that's actually the basic goal of this MSP, but MSP is having indirectly, MSP is having different other goals are also there. Okay, so the government announces the MSP for 22 mandated crops. 22 mandated crops, the government will be announcing the MSP, and it will be announced in the beginning of each sowing season. We have different seasons, like sowing season will be there, harvest season will be there. So this will be announced in the beginning of the sowing season. Okay, beginning of the sowing season, for all 22 mandated crops, the government will be announcing the minimum support price. And who is actually recommending this minimum support price? That is the Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices. The Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices, they will only be recommending this MSPs. Okay, so this is actually a body which is working under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farm Welfare. Ministry of Agriculture is actually a body under the Ministry of Agriculture. So what the CACP will be doing? The CACP will be recommending, and finally they have to get approval from the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. So this is the cabinet. This is a committee which is actually chaired by the Prime Minister himself. Okay, so that is importance of this MSP. You have to get the approval from the Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs itself. Okay, so this is the basic things regarding MSP. Now let's see for which all crops this MSP is announced. It's a very factual information, mostly for prelims exams and all. This kind of, sometimes these crops will be given, and you'll have to find out which all crops are included in this MSP and which are not. You have to eliminate accordingly. Okay, so the government announced MSP for 22 crops. The government announced MSP for 22 crops. Okay, so in that 7 are cereals. 7 are cereal. Paddy will be there, wheat will be there, barley, jowar, bajra, maize and ragi. Okay, so these are the 7 cereals for which the government will be announcing the MSP. Okay, and also we have 5 pulses are also there. So 7 cereals are there, 5 pulses are there: gram, arhar, moong, urad and lentil. So these are the 5 pulses for which MSP is announced, and also again 7 oil seeds are also there. 7 oil seeds: groundnut, rapeseed, raw soybean, sunflower, sesame, safflower and Niger seed. Okay, so these are the 7 oil seeds, and also we have commercial crops are also there. Okay, in commercial crops we have 4 crops are there, but for sugarcane there is actually a different mechanism. Sugarcane, there is a different mechanism, that is known as FRP, or fair remunerative price. Okay, that's a something similar to MSP only, but there is actually a difference between this. Okay, so these are the crops, these are the 22 crops for which the government will be announcing the minimum support price. Okay, it's a very factual information, might help for the prelims examination. Okay, all right, but how the CACP is announcing this MSP? We have different number of crops are there, right? Why they have actually selected this 22 crops? Because there are some factors which CACP will be considering while selecting the crops. We'll see the factors that they'll be taking into consideration. First one, it's a cost of production. First one, it is a cost of production. Obviously, it is very direct term only. What is the cost of production? Cost of production means all the expenses which farmer incur to grow the growth. So what are the expenses a farmer can usually incur? For example, if you want to buy, if you will be incurring 1000 rupees per quintal for a wheat. So what all things will be there? Some will go for fertilizers, some will go for the seeds, and some will go for irrigation, and even labor cost will also be considered. So considering all these things, we can calculate the cost of production. So depends on the cost of production also, MSP, the amount of MSP can vary. Another one is demand and supply. Another one is demand and supply. So how much of a crop is needed, that is demand, and how much of a crop is grown, so that is supply. Okay, so they'll be taking how much of what is the demand in the market, and what is the supply which is given by the farmer. So that is also taken into consideration. Okay, so that is demand and supply. Next one is price trends. Price trend is, in the sense, they will be considering what happened in the past also. For example, both in the local market as well as the global market, what actually happened. For example, in the global market, if the wheat price is increasing, MSP in India will also be increasing, so that Indian farmers are not at a disadvantage. So in that way, in that sense they will also increase it. Okay, so price trends will also increase. Another one is intercrop price parity. Intercrop price parity. So this ensures that for every crop there is actually a parity. For example, for paddy the I'm just giving a random example. If for paddy it is very high, like 1,000 rupees for paddy, but for wheat is just 10 rupees only. Okay, so what will farmers do? They'll cultivate more paddy and wheat production will slowly go down. Again, that is also going to affect the economy. So to balance that, they ensure that there is somewhat some parity between the crops, MSP of the crops. Okay. Another one is terms of trade. Another one is terms of trade. So here also they have to compare comparison of the farm goods, like grains are farm goods only and non-farm goods are also. For example, machinery and all items will also be there. For some farm goods and all, machinery cost will be so for some crops and all, this machinery cost will be very high. Okay, so that will also be considered. Okay, so that is terms of trade. Another one is margin over cost. Okay, so margin over cost means at least 50% profit is added to the cost of production. 50% profit is added to the cost of production, so then only farming will be worthwhile, right? For example, if 1 quintal of wheat is 2,000, so then the MSP must be 3,000 2,000 plus 50 percentage. 50 percentage means 2,000 by 2, that is 1,000. So 2,000 plus 1,000, that is 3,000 should be the MSP. So like this way only they are actually calculating. It's a bit technical information. Next one, impact of consumers. Okay, impact of consumers means MSP should not lead to overly high food prices, high food prices for the consumer. So that should also be considered. So considering all these factors only, the CACP will be selecting crops as well as declaring what is the MSP of that particular crop. Okay. All right. Now, what is the need of MSP? What is the need of MSP? MSP ensures that there is actually a financial stability. Financial stability. For example, if a farmer is continuously cultivating wheat, means okay, this year he will be getting some profit. For example, he got 10,000 rupees profit in this season or maybe this month. So what will happen next year? Also, he will be cultivating the same wheat only. So what the farmer will be expecting? He'll be expecting same or more profit. But what, due to maybe some economic distress or maybe due to climate calamities or something, it will be going down. Okay, so the economic stability of that particular person is affected. So this MSP will ensure that there is actually a stability in the system, stability for the farmers who are cultivating this particular crop. Okay, and also it encourages more crop cultivation. More people will be coming to agriculture. Okay, agriculture, without agriculture, if we are relying on imports, means it will be very difficult for us to sustain. We have already had that example. So we need crop cultivation. We need crop cultivation. We need to bring in more technologies to make it sustainable. So this higher MSP will be encouraging the crop cultivation. Okay. Another one, it will be shielding from middlemen. It will be shielding from middlemen. For example, these farmers are there is a sudden drop in the market prices. What this middlemen will be doing? They'll be coming to the farmers and they'll be bargaining with the farmers and they'll be taking it for a lower price. Okay, so to avoid that also, this MSP is very much helpful, and it supports national food security. How it's supporting national food security? It ensures that all the essential crops are available in the system. All the essential crops are available in the market. So that is being ensured by M, this MSP. And the one is reducing the distress sale. Somehow they'll be cultivating. For example, sometimes this overproduction and all will be there. Somehow they want to sell everything and leave. The farmers will be in that kind of situation. Okay, if MSP is there, then that can be avoided. Okay, and also obviously it will be promoting more investment in farming. People will understand that okay, there is some guarantee. If you are coming to this agricultural field, there is some guarantee in income, so that will also be there. Mostly in India, the farming is a rural economy concentrated thing. Okay, rural economy concentrated thing. So here we can ensure that this rural economy, if we are doing something for agriculture, the rural economy will also be benefited from that. Okay, another one, balances the regional disparities. Okay, some areas will be underdeveloped and some areas will be developed regions. Okay, if there is a MSP is there, then what will happen? Every region will be having their own benefit. Okay, so these are the some of the reasons why we need an MSP. Now let's see how this MSP is calculated. Based on some factors only, this based on some parameters only, this MSP is calculated. Okay, so we have set it like A2. A2 means it is actually the out-pocket expenditure which is incurred by the farmer. For example, seeds will be there, fertilizers will be there, even labor will be there, hired labor will be there, machinery will be there. Even for the machinery, this fuel for the machinery, like in revenue expenditure, fuel for the machinery will be there, irrigation charges will be there. So all these things we can include in A2. Okay, so all the out pocket expenditure of the farmer, okay, that can be included in A2. And again we'll be adding FL to that. Okay, so what do you mean by FL? FL is family labor. Okay, FL is family labor. Okay, here we have already mentioned the labor, right? So what is that? What is the difference between that labor and this labor? Here the laborers are getting paid. Okay, so here laborers are getting paid. Family labor means, for example, if a family, the head of the family is involved in agriculture, his wife will be there. Maybe she won't be working, but still she will be helping the his husband. Okay, maybe the children will also be helping. Okay, so like that way. So this is family labor. It is not it is not counted, okay, while calculating. So here we will be calculating that also comprises A2 cost plus the unpaid family labor. So that is also calculated here. C2 will be here, the comprehensive data. It encompasses A2 will be there, FL will be there, and also any additional cost will be there. Additional cost, for example, the land cost. Okay, sometimes it will be an owned land, sometimes it will be a rental land. Okay, so that is also there. So what the farmer could learn, if the for example, if that land, instead of cultivating, what if he would have rented it out? Would have rented it out, he will be getting a rent right. So that is also calculated here. Okay, and sometimes fixed capital will be there, like tractors will be there, buildings will be there. So that is also included in this. So basically C2 is a comprehensive data. Okay, so how MSP is set in India? As of now, how MSP is set in India? We will be taking this A2 plus F2. Sorry, A2 plus FL will be taken. A2 plus FL will be taken. So based on this only, we are taking it. So MSP should be at least 1.5 times. MSP should be at least 1.5 times of this total A2 plus FL. 1.5 times of this at A2 plus FL. So this is how we are actually calculating MSP. C2 is usually a reference data. C2 is usually a reference data, and as of now, we are not taking C2 into consideration. Okay, so this is how MSP is working here. But many committees have recommended that we should be considering C2 also, that we will be discussing later. Okay, so the government understood that there are many issues happening in this farm sector, especially related to MSP. So in 2004, what they did is they constituted a committee, that is a National Commission on Farmers. Okay, so that was established under the leadership of Professor M.S. Swaminathan. Professor M.S. Swaminathan, you might have heard. So he is regarded as the father of Green Revolution. Father of Green Revolution in India. Father of Green Revolution in India, M.S. Swaminathan. So this M.S. Swaminathan committee was set up in 2004. Okay, so the main purpose of this committee was to address the challenges in the agricultural sector. Challenges in agricultural sector can come in different areas. So here they have focused on productive, profitable and sustainable way. Okay, it has to be productive. One, the agriculture has to be made productive. Okay, another one is for the farmers, it should be profitable. It should be profitable. Okay, and also for the environment, it should be sustainable. So we have to, they have considered all these criteria while giving the recommendations. Okay, so they have submitted 5 reports over different periods. They have submitted, the Swaminathan committee has submitted 5 reports in 2004 to 2006. They have submitted 5 reports. So they have focused on some key areas. Based on these parameters, they have focused on some key areas. One is increasing the farmer income. So increasing the farmer income, it will be coming here, increasing the farmer income. Okay, increasing the yield, increasing the increasing the yield, and also bringing in more methods which are sustainable. Okay, environment friendly, environment friendly farming practices. Okay, so these were the key focus areas of this particular the recommendations of this committee. Okay, and also they understood that there are many areas of concern also. Okay, so they understood that these were the areas of concern and we have to address this. Okay, so the implementation of MSP also faced a lot of challenges. The major one is regional imbalance was there. Regional imbalance was there. For example, the procurement. The procurement, we have to procure these grains, right? Grains or whatever crop it be. So this procurement was not even. Mostly it was going properly in the northwestern side. For example, like Punjab and Haryana. But if you go to the other states like Bihar and all, there you can see the clear imbalance is there. Okay, compared to this region, that region, especially in the east as well as northeastern part of India, this this was not going in a proper way. And also it was not just regional imbalance, there was an imbalance in the crops also. The crop coverage was also very much limited, even though we are declaring it for 22 crops, that was also not there. Mostly here also there is an imbalance was there. Here the focus was mostly on wheat and rice. The focus was mostly on wheat and rice. Okay, so there that also created an imbalance in the crop production. Additionally, for the government also it is a financial strain. If you are declaring it all of a sudden, what will happen? The large procurement, you have to go for all the large procurement. So that is also straining the government's finances. Okay, so another one is overproduction issue. Sometimes the crops will be overproduced. So at that time, and sometimes the crops will be the production will be affected by climate issues also. At that time also this MSP will be an issue. Okay, another important reason is there is no statutory backing for MSP. No law is actually backing MSP. So this is one of the major issues why there is no legal guarantee for this MSP. No legal guarantee for the farmers. No legal guarantee for farmers. Okay, so these are some of the concerns related to MSP in India, which was found by this committee as well as other major committees. So the Swaminathan Commission, they have suggested some key recommendations. They have given some key recommendations in different areas so that some of the concerns can be addressed. Okay, one is land reforms. One is in the land reform area. So they wanted to provide land access. They wanted to provide land access to the landless as well as a marginal farmer, so that there will be there is no inequality in the farming sector. Okay, another one, improved water resources, especially irrigation facilities. Especially we need proper irrigation facility. We need proper irrigation facility, and water management is also very much necessary. For example, there should not be much depletion of the groundwater. So all these things has been considered. For example, this will be coming in the sustainable uh, focus area. Okay. Next one is regarding the financial area, that is credit and insurance. Okay. So they should be, farmers should be getting more affordable credit, and there should be crop insurance should also be there. We have now introduced something like Fasal Bima Yojana and all is it. So that will be all these things have a backing of this committee recommendation. Credit as well as farmers should be getting credit for their buying equipments or before farming, and also there should be an insurance. There should be an insurance so that when there is a market fluctuation or maybe when there is a natural disaster, that will be covered in that. Okay, so that is also there. Another one is regarding food security. Okay, so food security, we have to strengthen our PDS system. We have to strengthen our public distribution system to ensure that there is actually a food security. And also this the growth of farming sector is very much important for the nutrition programs in India. Okay, all right. And very important recommendation which MS Swaminathan has put forward is we need a new MSP formula. Okay, earlier we were using that, what we were neglecting, the C2. the comprehensive parameter that was there, right? So we were neglecting the C2. So now what MS Swaminathan has recommended is like now there should be new formula, that is we have to consider C2 and MSP should be more than 50% of the C2. So this formula we have to consider. So this was what MS Swaminathan has said. Okay. Alright. See, these are the key recommendations. Next we will see a case study, two important case studies. One is from Madhya Pradesh. One is from Madhya Pradesh. So Madhya Pradesh government, what they did is like they introduced a scheme known as Bhavandar Bhugdan Yojana. So Bhavandar Bhugdan Yojana, what they did is like the state government, they compensated the farmers. They compensated the farmers if the market price of the produce falls below MSP. So the government will be declaring an MSP. Okay. So if the market price is falling below MSP, the state government will be compensating. The state government will be compensating for the rest of the amount also. Okay. So it will be again a backup support. Okay. So this was introduced by the Madhya Pradesh government. This was introduced by the Madhya Pradesh government. Again, Haryana became the first state to procure 14 crops at MSP. One of the major challenges of this MSPs or concerns about MSPs, there are procurement issues are there. Procurement issues are there. So what Haryana did is like they procure a lot of crops. They ensure that these 14 crops are procured at MSP. Okay. Again, this expanded the MSP being a safety net. Okay. All right. Now let's see how this how can this MSP be guaranteed to the farmers. Most issue is like the farmers are not getting this MSP. So how can it be guaranteed to the farmers? First of all, we need a legal framework. We need a legal framework. Legal framework means that there should be a statutory backing. There should be a statutory backing. There should be a statutory backing for this MSP. So that should be ensured. Okay, and also we need to strengthen the procurement infrastructure, procurement process as well as procurement infrastructure. Like for example, we need procurement centers should be there. Procurement centers should be there, especially in the remote areas and all. We need a procurement center. And obviously, when they are bringing this also, there should be storage facility. It's not like directly they will be able to sell it from there itself, right? But it has to be procured and it has to be kept. I mean, storage facility should be there so that post harvest losses are not there. Post harvest losses are not there. Okay. Another one is price deficiency payment, PDP or price deficiency payment. So here the farmers has to be compensated for the difference between MSP and market prices. So what the Haryana government has did, same. So that should be implemented in a uh, broader level. Okay. All right. So next one is decentralized procurement. Sorry, not Haryana, Madhya Pradesh government, the Bhavandar Bhugdan Yojana. Okay. Next one, the procurement should be decentralized. Decentralized in the sense, state governments. State government should be given more, say, in this procurement. Okay, and also farmers should be empowered. There should be organizations. For example, now also we have FPOs are there. Farmer producer organizations are there, FPOs. So these FPOs should be strengthened. Okay, so that they'll have, if they are having a organization, something in the organization will mean there will be a collective bargaining power will be there. So that has to be ensured. Okay. Another one, crop diversification. We need to ensure that the crops are diverse, but more and more crops are there, and there should be insurance and credit support, affordable credit as well as insurance, like Fasal Bima Yojana should be there. And another very important recommendation by this Shantakumar committee. So here Shantakumar committee recommended that there should be a restructuring of this food FCA, Food Corporation of India. So that should be restructured, focusing on the MSP procurement. Okay. So this is what Shantakumar committee has suggested in 2015. Okay. All right. So that's it regarding MSP. Moving on to next topic. So National Health Mission. So National Health Mission. So recently that assessment report regarding National Health Commission has come, and they are saying that this National Health Commission has contributed to improving the India's public health. For example, how it has contributed, it has improved the workforce. Workforce expansion was there. Reduction in mortality rates like maternal mortality, infant mortality, all these rates have been significantly improved, and also disease control measures, for example epidemic control measures that can be taken, and also this NCD, like non-communicable diseases. So in all these areas this National Health Commission has been a success. So that is what the assessment report is saying. And also the cabinet has cabinet has approved the continuation of this National Health Mission for next 5 years also. Okay, so this is the important. So it will be coming under GS paper 2, government policies and schemes in various sectors. Okay. A previous year question in this regard, with reference to National Rural Health Mission, which of the following are responsibilities of ASHA? ASHA workers will be there. What are the responsibilities of this ASHA workers? All right, we'll see what is this National Health Mission. Okay, so this is actually a program which was launched in 2013. So 2013. So prior to 2013, we had two important programs. One is National Rural Health Mission, National Rural Health Mission, and National Urban Health Mission. National Rural Health Mission and National Urban Health Mission. So we can, from the name itself, we will be able to understand what is this. One was working in the village level, another was working in the urban level. Okay, so main goal was to ensure that there is that healthcare is accessible. Healthcare is accessible. Accessible means what? It is easily available to everyone. Easily available to everyone. For example, health facilities are nearby. Health centers are nearby. Even the ASHA workers are there. That doctors are there. So all these things accessible, and it should be affordable. It should be affordable. Affordable in the sense it should be cost effective. Okay. For example, it should not be overpriced. It should not be overpriced. So it should be under the financial reach of every individual, whether you are from a poor section of the society or whichever section of the society you are, it should be affordable for you. Okay, so that is it. And also quality healthcare services. Quality healthcare services, whatever is there and accessible, it should be of quality. For example, ASHA workers will be there, doctors will be there, the facilities in the hospital will be there. Everything should be of quality only. Okay, you should not give an under quality thing. Okay, and what is the aim of this? To achieve the universal health coverage. Universal health coverage. That is the ultimate aim of this. That is National Health Mission. So we'll see what are the core components of this National Health Mission. Okay. So the major component is the RMNCH plus A. Okay. So R stands for reproductive. R stands for reproductive. M stands for maternal. N stands for neonatal. C for neonatal. C for child, and A for adolescent health. A for adolescent health. Okay. So these are the areas in which this this is actually working in RMCHA, and they are actually using a life cycle approach, that there should be a continuous care. Okay, so this should every stage of the life that is happening. Okay, so that is when neonatal, child, adolescent, reproductive. So every stage this should be there. Okay, and one of the major component is health system should be strengthened. Health system should be strengthened. So what is a major infrastructure in the health system? That is hospitals only. Hospitals can be at different levels, like primary health centers should be there, district hospitals should be there, and also a new concept is also there, health and wellness centers. Health and wellness centers. Health and wellness centers. Here you can see that this is not just about prevention, this is not just about cure, but it's all about prevention also. So health and wellness center. So that is a new concept which we have brought in. And also communicable and non-communicable disease control should also be there. For example, like TB, malaria, communicable diseases like this, and higher the NCDs like hypertension. Okay, so both should be under control. And also digital India is something which we incorporate in every scheme. For example, whether it be education, whether it be health, whether it be travel, whatever it be, that is there. So we have initiatives like e-Sanjeevani. E-Sanjeevani means a telemedicine platform. Telemedicine platform, so doctors will be available online and you can directly consult with them online itself. So that kind of concept is also there. Okay, so these are some of the core components of this National Health Mission. So this National Health Mission, they have actually devised some specific targets. Specific targets are there for national. Some of them we have already achieved. Okay, this scheme was launched in 2013. Some of them we have already achieved before target year itself. So let's see what are the specific targets of this National Health Mission. One is TFR. TFR means total fertility rate. TFR means total fertility rate. Okay, TFR is total fertility rate. So we have to reduce the total fertility rate to 2.1. So total fertility rate means average children a woman can have in her life cycle. So that is TFR. So we have to reduce it to 2.1. So that was a target. We'll discuss what we have achieved, but this was a target. Next one is IMR. IMR is infant mortality rate. IMR is infant mortality rate. Infant mortality rate. So infant mortality rate means infant deaths. A number of infant deaths under in 1 year for every live birth. For every live birth, how many infant deaths are happening in 1 year? Okay, so that is, so we have to reduce it to 25 per 1000 live births. This is actually the target. Okay, next one is maternal mortality rate. MMR is maternal mortality rate. So we have to reduce this maternal mortality rate to 1 per 1000 live birth. Okay, so maternal mortality means in 1000 live birth, how many maternal deaths are happening? How many maternal deaths are happening in? How many maternal deaths are happening in 1000 live birth? Okay, so that is maternal mortality. So that we have to reduce to 1 per live births. So that is actually our target, and bring down the malaria cases to less than 1 per 1000 population. Less than 1 per 1000 population. So that should be there, and prevent and reduce anemia in women. Anemia in women. So in this women itself, the most affected uh, age bracket is 15 to 49. Women in this 15 to 49. So this age bracket is mostly affected by this anemia. There are actually the National Family Health Survey reports and all suggesting what is actually the statistics of anemia in India. Okay, in that this 15 to 49 49 bracket is having the most number of anemia cases. Okay, and also we have to reduce mortality due to tuberculosis. Mortality, whatever mortality is there, we have to reduce it by half. Okay. Next one is reduce premature mortality from NCDs, non-communicable diseases, by 25% by 2025 this year. Okay, and achieve 90% immunization coverage. Okay, so immunization coverage, we have a program known as Universal Immunization Program. We have a program known as Universal Immunization Program. Okay, so through this we have to achieve at least 90% immunization coverage. Okay, all right, now let's see what are the achievements. So this is actually the target. These were the targets which we are supposed to achieve. Now let's see whether we have achieved these things, that we can see. Okay, all right, so these are the achievements as per the latest assessment. So one thing is regarding expansion of human resources, whether it be doctors, whether it be ASHA workers, all this. What is the statistics? 2021-22, 2.69 lakh workers were added, including 90,000 740 CHOs, community health officers. Okay, 2022 to 23, 4.21 lakh professionals recruited, including 1.29 lakh CHOs. 2023 to 24, 5.23 lakh personnel were engaged, including 1.38 lakh CHOs. Okay, so this is regarding the human resources only. Okay, next one is improvement in health indicators. How our health indicators are improved. So we were able to reduce it to MMR, maternal mortality rate. We were able to reduce it by 83% since 1919, and the global decline was 45%. We were able to surpass even that also. IMR, infant mortality rate, that dropped from 39 to 28. So what was our target? It was 25. Okay, it was 25. Here you can see that it is 25. So now we have reached 28. So it's not far. So TFR has further declined to 2.0. 2.0, achieving replacement level. We have already achieved the replacement level fertility. It was 2.1, now it is 2.0. Okay, all right. And also disease control. Regarding disease control, there is actually a very significant reduction in the TB incidents. TB incident, and especially TB also can be caused due to different reasons. Okay, Next, progress towards sickle cell anemia elimination. So, sickle cell anemia elimination is actually a genetic disease. Anemia means basically the lack of hemoglobin. Anemia means lack of hemoglobin in blood. Okay, so mostly it will be due to iron deficiency, but there are many other reasons are also there. Sickle cell anemia is a different case of anemia in which the hemoglobins will be like this, like a sickle only. Okay, hemoglobins will be converted to this. Okay, strengthen the responses to health emergencies, including the COVID-19 or COVID-19. That response was also very good. Okay. Next one, SDG alignment. India is on the track to meet UN Sustainable Development Goals. As per the sustainable goals, we have to attain it by 2030. But most of them we have attained, already attained, or we will be attaining even before the target year itself. Okay. So that is actually the success of India's National Health Mission. Okay, now let's see what are the government measures to strengthen this national health missions. Obviously, health systems will be strengthened, like PHCs will be there, district hospitals will be there. We've already discussed HWCs, health and wellness centers. So all these things will be strengthened. Okay, infrastructure will be strengthened. Workforce development will be getting more people in the workforce. Okay, especially CHOs will be uh, community health officers will be recruited, and we'll have more skill building programs, like MLHP. MLHP means mid-level health providers. Mid-level health providers, so they are non-physician practitioners. They can even diagnose, assess, and even treat patients. Okay, so that kind of training should also be imparted to many. Okay, and also we'll be incorporating initiatives like e-Sanjeevani, that is telemedicine initiative, and also National Digital Health Mission. So here health IDs will be provided. Health IDs will be provided so that it will like an Aadhaar card for us. It will be there for all the health related matters. We can use that, and also EHRs will also be there. EHRs means now the digital records will be electronic records. Health records will be electronic health records. Electronic health records means what? Electronic health records means what? It will be universal. Okay, so wherever you go, you'll be able to access using this particular record. Okay, so that possibility is also there, and also obviously financial and policy support is also needed. So enhance the budget allocation for the national health mission. So we have to promote PPPs. Okay, public private partnership has to be promoted, and schemes like Kayagal. Kayagal is a scheme for quality improvement in the public health facility. So schemes like that should also be brought in. Okay, so all right. So this is the second topic. Now let's move on to the third topic. China moves must recast India's critical minerals push. So here we'll be discussing regarding critical minerals. What is a critical minerals? What is the statistics of critical minerals in India? How we are actually classifying critical minerals? Some of the examples of critical minerals. What are the uses? All these things we'll be discussing. Okay. All right. So let's see a previous year question in this regard. What is or are the purpose of district mineral foundations in India? Okay. Again, you have to find out what are the purpose of this. All right, so we'll start with what is a critical mineral. Okay, so critical minerals are something which are essential resources. Essential resources, two main criteria here. One, there should be economic development. It should be very much essential for the economic development, and also either it can be essential for economic development perspective, or it can be essential with respect to um, national security perspective. Okay, mostly these critical minerals in India, especially in this Indian or whichever country we are taking. So that will be the production will be very less. So that's why we call it as a critical mineral. Okay, some of the examples of critical mineral. One is lithium. You know where lithium is very much important. Used in batteries. For example, India is also, every country is moving towards electric mobility. So for India, lithium is something which is very much important. Okay, so if the supply of this critical minerals are stopped, if the supply or there is actually a disruption in the critical minerals, that is actually, that can even threaten the economic functioning, daily economic function of the country, or maybe even the national security also. For example, if something will be in defense, in defense sector something is there, some metal is being used, and that metal is not available. That metal is not available. So at that time, it will be difficult. It will be difficult to maintain that flow. Okay, so that is critical mineral. So lithium, it is used in the electric vehicles and all, electric vehicles, and cobalt, it is used for high strength alloys. Okay, high strength alloys and all. Cobalt is, so now we are into this make in India and all. So obviously manufacturing sector, cobalt is a very important um, mineral. Okay, so even if I said critical mineral is something which is very much important for the economic, either economic development or national security of the country. Okay, so of the country in the sense, for India, our economic development priorities will be different. Our national security priorities will be different. For China, it won't be the case. China, it won't be the case. For Japan, it won't be the case. US, it won't be the case. In India, lithium is very much, we are not having much uh, lithium supplies. Okay, so obviously there are chances that if that supply chain can be broken. Okay, for example, if in a country in which the lithium production is very much high, so there the chances are very less that lithium supply will be broken. For that country, lithium might not be a critical mineral. So it's up to the country on to decide how they are actually listing the critical mineral, and every country is having their own methodology to determine that. Okay, all right. So if you take the global statistics, you can see that US is having 50 minerals are there. They have listed 50 minerals as critical minerals. Japan has listed 31 minerals. UK has listed 18 minerals. European Union has listed 34 minerals, and Canada has listed 31 minerals. Okay, all right. So this is actually the criteria which India is following to select the critical minerals. One, it should be supporting the economic growth and competitors and job creation. That should be one criteria. Another one is it should be driving the research, innovation and exploration. Okay, so that is another criteria. Another one is it should be enhancing global security and partnership with the allies. Another one is raw material security for state of art defense. Okay, another one is promoting climate action and environment protection. So these are the 5 criteria, which 5 core objectives which India is keeping while identifying the critical mineral. So we have, according to this criteria, India has also listed its critical mineral. So we have selected 30, we have listed 30 minerals in the critical minerals list. Okay, 30 minerals in the critical minerals list. We can see here antimony, beryllium, bismuth, cadmium, cobalt, copper, gallium, germanium, graphite, hafnium, indium, lithium, molybdenum, niobium, nickel, Pg. Pg means platinum group elements. That is Pg, platinum group elements. Phosphorus is there, potash is there, Re. Re is rare earth minerals. So rare earth minerals means it will be like the name suggests, the quantity in which it is available is very less. So that is rare earth elements. Okay, rhenium, selenium, silicon, strontium, tantalum, tellurium, tin, titanium, tungsten, vanadium, and zirconium. Okay, so these are the 30 uh, uh, critical minerals which we have listed. Okay, all right. So what is the issue now? The article is saying that most of the critical minerals, for most of the critical minerals, India is actually depending on China. Okay, so as you might be knowing that India and China are not having a very good relation. Okay, so if there is any triggering situation between India and China, there are chances that China can counter India in different ways. This is one of the ways in which China can counter. They can stop the supply of this critical minerals. So at that time, again, that is going to affect India. Okay, from this chart you can see that this is actually the percentage of the materials which we are importing. 2020 data, material we are importing. Okay, so here you can see that lithium, here you can see that lithium 100% of lithium we are importing. 100% of lithium we are importing, but we are using different countries. For example, Chile, Russia, China, Ireland, Belgium. Here also China is there. Cobalt, that's also very much important. So that's also 100% imported. China, Belgium, Netherlands, US, Japan. China is a major player there. Nickel, Sweden, China, Indonesia, Japan, Philippines, again China. Vanadium is there. So vanadium is mostly from other countries. Kuwait, Germany, South Africa, Brazil, Thailand. Okay, germanium is important. So germanium also China is coming. Rhenium, beryllium. So most of them we are relying on China. Almost 70% of the rare earth metals also will be coming from China. 70% of the rare earth is very important for, especially for this electronic industry and all. Rare earth elements are important. Okay, so almost 70% of the rare earth elements are coming from China only. Okay, so sudden disruptions in this global, or maybe due to some global political, geopolitical tensions or trade restrictions are coming at that time, this can critically affect India's economic development or maybe national security itself. So this is what the article is highlighting. Okay, all right. So what are the government initiatives in this regard? We have an act known as the Mines and Mineral Development Regulation, Mines and Mineral Development Amendment Act. So according to this act only, we have listed out the critical minerals. Okay, critical minerals, and we have also listed out what is actually the purpose of all this. And also here we have added provisions to involve more private partners also. Okay, public private partnership, more medium for public private partnership. And this is something Khanij Videsh India Limited. Khanij Videsh India Limited is actually a company, collaborative company between different things, NALCO, HCL, MACL. So their purpose is to acquire these minerals. So their purpose is to acquire these minerals from where? From overseas. Okay, so this will be in overseas, right? So from overseas we have to acquire. From overseas we have to acquire these minerals. So that is Khanij Videsh India Limited. And also we have a rule known as e-waste management rules. Okay, so in this e-waste management, e-waste means, for example, electronic waste will be there. So in this electronic waste, obviously this critical minerals will be used. Okay, usually we have our own processes for discarding this e-waste. So what we can actually do is, we can these valuable materials can be recovered from this e-waste itself and can be used. Okay, so that provision is also there in this e-waste management rules. Okay, so these are the government initiatives. And also we are looking for something known as mineral diplomacy. Mineral diplomacy means we are not using only one country. We are not, for example, instead of relying just China alone for one element, what we can do is we can go and have contact with, go and have agreements with different countries, so that there is no monopoly of a single country. Okay, all right. So that's it regarding. Next, moving on to next one. Again, this is talking regarding, this article is talking regarding India's maritime sector needs, but a very important fact is also coming here. That is a Hong Kong International Convention. That is a Hong Kong International Convention for safe and environmentally sound recycling of ship. Hong Kong International Convention for safe and environmentally sound recycling of ship. That was something which was introduced in 2009. So this is in the spotlight. Why? Because in 2025 is the year this agreement which was there in 2009, that is going to come effect in 2025. So that is something which makes this article important. Okay. All right. So previous year question regarding this, regarding some agreements also. Agreements only. So agreements are important for your exam point of view. All right. Hong Kong International Convention for Safe and Environmentally Sound Recycling of Ships. Okay. So this is something which was adopted in 2009. Something which was adopted in 2009 under International Maritime Organization. Under International Maritime Organization. So regarding International Maritime Organization, this was a body which was founded in 1948. Body which was founded in 1948, again through a convention only, Convention on International Maritime Organization. Okay, Convention on International Maritime Organization. Through that only it was founded. They are having headquarters in London, in UK. So what is the objective of this? To promote safe, secure and environmentally sound shipping through a comprehensive framework of global maritime regulation. So that is a purpose of this International Maritime Organization. It's a very important body. Why? Because this is one of the specialized agency of UN itself. One of the specialized agency of United Nations itself. Okay, so that is why, that's the importance of this convention. Okay, all right. So what? So they have only um, this convention is coming under that only. So what are the objectives of this convention? First one is there should be human safety. Human safety means the workers will be there, right? So in the ship recycling yards, workers will be there. So their safety should be a primary concern. So this is regarding person, okay. And next is regarding environment. Next is regarding environment. So what regarding environment? For example, in this ship recycling and all, many hazardous substances will be there. For example, asbestos will be there, heavy metals will be there like nickel and all, heavy metals will be there, hydrocarbons will be there, and even some gases like ozone depleting gases will be there like CFCs and all will be there. So that has to be properly managed. And also global standards has to be established, okay. Global standards has to be everywhere, it should be a uniform standard should be there. So this is something which is important for uh, considering these objectives only, they have drafted this Hong Kong International Convention for safe and environmentally sound recycling of ships, okay. So that was adopted in 2009 and that will be coming in 2025. Let's see the applicability of this thing. So this will be applying to all the ships which are above 500 gross tonnage. 500, if the ship is above 500 gross tonnage, then it will be applicable. But there are some of the ships are excluded. Not all ships which are under, even though it is saying that all ships above 500 gross tonnage will be coming under jurisdiction, but not all ships which are operating above 500 gross tonnage won't be concern. If it is under the state jurisdiction, then it is accepted. For example, under Indian Navy, we have warships. We have warships are there, naval auxiliary vessels are there. So all these things. So this will be coming under state jurisdiction. For that recycling, these criteria need not be applicable. Okay. Another key requirement is this: they should actually maintain an inventory of hazardous materials. All ships must maintain a inventory of the hazardous substances on board, okay. Another one, when they are making this going for this ship recycling, they should be having a recycling plan that should be uh, maintained, okay. What are the recycling facilities available, what is actually the specific ship's recycling process, detailing all these things, they should make a ship recycling plan should be there, okay. Another one is also regarding hazardous substances only. For example, when you are handling things like asbestos, ozone depleting materials and all, uh, these should not be used, okay. So that is also, these are the key requirements for this, okay. So this will be, like I have said, this will be coming into effect, even though it was drafted in 2009. So this will be coming into effect only on 26 June 2026. So what is actually the criteria? It should at least be ratified by 15 states as part of IMO, and the coverage of 40% of the global merchant ships shipping tonnage should be there, and also recycling capacity of at least 3% of the combined tonnage of the contracting fleet should be there. So based on this, it will be coming into effect on 26 June 2025. Now let's see what is why India has to be the player in this. Because India is a global leader in this. 30% of the global ship recycling is happening in India. So that is especially in this western part and all. We are also in manufacturing also we are a very major player, and also we have already ratified it. So we have already ratified it and we have shown our compliance in this. Okay, all right. So now let's see a snippet. Okay, so this is regarding a term only, Crosspathy. So recently the Maharashtra FDA, they have devised a move to allow certified homeopaths, people who are following homeopathy, to prescribe allopathic medicine. So again, that is also making news. So we'll see what is this term, Crosspathy. Okay, so Crosspathy is actually the practice of medical professionals trained in one system of medicine prescribing or practicing another system. Okay, medical professionals practicing. For example, if someone is practicing Ayurveda or someone is practicing homeopathy, they are entitled, since they are doctors, they are entitled to prescribe medicines in uh, this also, okay, allopathy also. So this is what Crosspathy refers to. In India, what is status in India? In India, what are why these uh, order is being challenged? Because there is an argument that it will be affecting the patient safety, because lack of proper training is not there. A person who is qualified in Ayurveda, he will be a master in Ayurveda, but he is not having much knowledge regarding what is happening with allopathy, how the medicine works in allopathy. So that is affected, that might affect the patient safety. And also there are legal issues are also there. As of now, Crosspathy is unregulated and sometimes prohibited itself, rather than this rare state occurrences it is there. Okay. Recently in this 1996 Poonam Verma case, the court declared that Crosspathy can be considered as a medical negligence. It can be considered as a medical, a person died because of that. So Crosspathy can be considered as a medical negligence, and the case can be filed against a doctor. So as of now, the legal position of Crosspathy is it is considered as a medical negligence. Whatever legal action can be taken in a medical negligence way, that can be taken here also. All right, next one, again this is regarding a term only. So SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, they have proposed a novel concept known as this sachetization. Okay, so we'll in our mutual funds, so we'll discuss what is this sachetization. Okay, all right. So sachetization means breaking down the products or services into smaller units. For example, to make a service accessible. For example, take the case of a mutual fund. In mutual funds and all, sometimes the SIP. SIP means systemic investment plan. Okay, well, how much money we are putting in a month or maybe in 2 weeks or something. So that is systemic investment plan. So that will be high. So every month we might have to put at least 2000 rupees or maybe 5000 rupees. So that won't be possible for many people. Okay. So now by sachetization, sachet means small packets. So now, according to this SEBI rule, now they can issue small ticket SIP. Small ticket SIP means a minimum SIP of 250 can, even at a minimum SIP of 250 SIP can be allowed in this mutual funds. Okay. All right. So these are the topics for today's discussion. Now let's see a mains practice question. What are the major concerns associated with the implementation of MSP in India? How do regional disparities and limited crop coverage impact the efficiency of MSP system? So obviously we can introduce with what is MSP, what is MSP and what is the role in defining farmers, what is the importance in agricultural policy. Like that way you can make a brief introduction. So in the body you can see the question is regarding regional disparities. How do regional, what are the major concerns and how do regional disparities limited crop coverage? Okay. All right. So regional disparity, you can include examples like Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, and these cases northeast eastern states you can include, and you can write. And after that you can go with limited crop coverage. So key crops like wheat, rice, how they are getting dominated in this MSP, so that you can discuss. And obviously other concerns also they have asked. So other concerns like overproduction, fiscal strain, market distortion, so that also you can mention in body. Finally you can conclude by saying the impact of this regional and crop coverage limitations on MSP and suggest reforms also. Okay, like that we can conclude. So next we'll discuss the prelims practice questions of yesterday's daily news analysis. Okay. All right. So consider the following statements regarding constitution and legal provisions for resolving interstate river disputes in India. Article 262 of Indian Constitution empowers the Parliament to adjudicate interstate river disputes and bars the jurisdiction of courts if such a law is enacted. Okay. So this is correct only. It is actually this. We have already enacted the Interstate River Water Dispute Act of 1956. So that is actually barring the involvement of courts. Next one, River Boards Act 1956 has been widely implemented to facilitate cooperative management of interstate rivers. So this is correctly it's implemented to facilitate cooperative management of interstate river basins, but it has not been widely implemented. Okay, so that makes it a extreme statement. So in that way, this is wrong. Okay, all right. So this is correct. This is wrong. So correct answer is one only. All right. Next one, consider the following statement regarding WHO. WHO was established 1950 and its headquarters is located in New York, US. So next one, WHO's decision-making body, the World Health Assembly, is held annually in Geneva. WHO is an intergovernmental organization that works in collaboration with members typically through ministries of health. First one, there are many factual errors out there. One, it is not 1950, it is 1948. Another one, its headquarters is in Geneva. Okay, headquarters is in Geneva. So which makes this statement wrong. This is correct. This is correct. Okay, so the correct answer is 2 and 3 only. P, 2 and 3 only. Okay. Next one. India's citizenship laws historically favored which principle? Okay, so it's purely a theoretical question. This kind of question can also be asked for your examination. Jus sanguinis, jus soli, dual citizenship, citizenship in by investment. We don't have investment citizenship, we don't have dual citizenship. We have jus soli only. Jus soli means right of soil. Okay, right of soil by birth like that. So that is yesterday's questions of yesterday's DNA. So these are the questions of today's daily news analysis. So you can visit our website navigator.narayana.com. So link will be posted in the chat box. So there current affairs tab will be there. Click on the current affairs tab. Daily prelims quiz will be there. Click on the daily prelims quiz and you'll be able to answer the question. So we'll be discussing these answers of these questions in tomorrow's daily news analysis also. Okay, so we'll be having 3 questions are there. Okay, all right. So that's it for today's daily news analysis. Thank you.